and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, for an extra special video, because we are going to be talking about Raphinha. Now that it has been officially announced, now that it has been 100% confirmed, we've got to talk about him, and we have to talk about what he's going to bring. What can he give us in a Barcelona shirt? And I think this is even more important because in previous years, we have had these big signings. In previous years gone by, we've had big names arriving at this club that they've not worked out. They haven't fitted in with what we've been trying to do. But that's why today we have to discuss why Raphinha doesn't fall under that same bracket. He is not a player we're signing here without a plan. This is a player who was handpicked by Xavi, who Xavi was insistent upon signing, who already has a ready-made role for him in this team. And this is a player who has all of the quality, all of the attributes to succeed in Barça colours. And that is where we begin. Because first of all, guys, what we simply must discuss when we're talking about Raphinha, when you're talking about this entire transfer saga that has gone on now for several months, you've got to talk about that desire. You've got to talk about the sheer will that this man had to play for this club. And it is always refreshing, always heartwarming for us fans to see that desire. Because from the very word go, several months ago, when we first approached Raphinha, his message was clear. I only want Barça. This is a player here who received bigger offers, he received easier opportunities to go and sign for other clubs this summer, but that was never ever in his mind. Together there with his agent Deco, the huge respect both of them have showed towards the club, and the love Raphinha has for this badge. Those are the players you want. Those are the players that you want at your club, going out there and giving it their maximum. And I would also say, guys, that commitment, it's also shown in his wages. Because unlike previous big transfers, I'm thinking there about Coutinho, I'm thinking about Griezmann, I don't deny that they wanted to be here too. I don't deny that they dreamed of playing for Barca, yes. But the difference in salary, it is astounding. Coutinho and Griezmann, they were players there on nearly $500,000 a week. That's not a joke. That's the salary they were making. But Raphinha, 6 million net per year. 6 million net. That is a very, very different proposition. A similar kind of deal there to Ousmane Dembele. What he'll be earning now at the club. And that's the new wage structure. That is the new Barca now under Laporta. And Raphinha, he's a massive part of that. But of course, guys, aside from that desire alone, and aside maybe from the mentality of the player, what can we expect playing-wise in terms of the kind of player that he is, the kind of profile, the kind of winger that he is? Well, first of all, what we've got to say is he's somebody there who primarily likes to operate on that right-hand side. He is somebody who would most naturally be on the right wing. That's where he's played the majority of his time in the Premier League with Leeds. But it also has to be said too that throughout his career, he's also spent a lot of time on the left too, especially there during his time in Portugal. He did operate a lot on the left-hand side. So it's not completely out of the question that he could operate on both sides, but on the right is where, for me, he is more comfortable. And in terms of the type of winger, just have a look here at his seasonal heat map, because what you can tell from that is he is somebody there who can be very disciplined. He is somebody there who can stick very, very tight to that touchline, and that is something that Xavi is really going to appreciate and really going to approve of when he makes that move to Barca. Xavi likes his wingers, if they're going to be that kind of winger, to stay nice and wide, to hug the touchline, to really make the pitch as wide as it can possibly be. And I think with Raphinha, what you absolutely count on is that quality dribbling technique. And I do like the way that he carries himself on the field, in terms of he's not a player who I think you can easily shrug off the ball. He moves very well, he protects the ball well, he's intelligent in the way that he goes about his play. And what you've got to say about him, he is a phenomenal creator. He is somebody here who can pick out a pass, lots of different types of passes as well. I've seen lofted balls in behind there, crosses into the box, short passes as well. He's a very unselfish player, countless chances he provided there in that Leeds team, and he can score. Raphinha is a player that when he gets a chance in front of goal, when he has an opportunity, he can take it. He is a very accomplished finisher, and for a winger To have both of those traits, to have the ability to create and to score, that's fantastic. That is the combination, the absolute dream scenario you would want from any wide player. Now, in terms of the numbers in the 2020 to 2021 season in the Premier League, finding his feet, of course, in English football, which isn't easy when you're coming through there, a newly promoted team that Leeds were, 26 starts, 6 goals and 9 assists in his first season there in England. He missed just one match that was due to an ankle problem. And just last season, 34 starts in total for Raphinha. Big increase there in the goals, 11 goals that he got, along with 3 assists, and again, just one match that he missed. So throughout the 2 seasons there in England, it's a very physical league that we know, but he avoided injury problems. Very, very good injury record. And I think what you have to say when you're looking there at the stats, at the numbers, you do have to take into account, guys, the team he's playing in. It's very easy for people here to laugh and say, oh, you paid that kind of money for somebody who hasn't got huge numbers. But Raphinha, no disrespect here, was playing for Leeds United. Obviously there, especially last season, they were in and around the relegation zone. For context, Raphinha scored 26% of all of their goals in the Premier League last season. He was a driving force behind them staying up, and there were countless times where he put chances on a plate, where he's created opportunities that in any other team, he gets an assist. He gets those numbers, no problem, but they weren't finished off. And around better players in a better team, you have to kind of expect here that for sure, those numbers, they're going to increase. However, guys, having said all that there about goals, about assists, about dribbling, about the kind of winger that Raphinha is, one of the most important points that I'm going to make today in this whole video, it's not just about those goals. It's not just about the assists either, because there are many other areas of your game that you'll need if you're going to perform at Barça, if you are going to fit into a Xavi Hernandez team. And I want to talk here about Raphinha's work rate. And I want to talk here about his time, especially under Marcelo Bielsa, when he was at Leeds. Because you know the kind of football and the kind of pressing and the kind of work that Bielsa demands. And when he was at Leeds, Raphinha, he epitomised that. He showed the energy. He showed the hard work there. He was winning the ball high at the pitch. He was really putting in the hard yards for Bielsa. And even last season, under a different coach at Leeds, Jesse Marsh, there was times when Raphinha was playing in a wing-back role. Did he complain? Did he moan? Did he strop? No, he got on with it. He worked hard for the team. And that is something here that I feel is underrated about Raphinha's game. He plays with his heart on his sleeve. And he is a hard worker. Talented, yes. A Brazilian in flair, in ability, and all that stuff, yes, but he works hard too. And that is a fundamental part of what Xavi will demand that you bring to this Barcelona team. And I do think it's important as well, and very relevant, to look at his games and his numbers when playing with the Brazilian national team there. In World Cup qualifying, not easy games, as we know those are, but in a more dominant team, surrounded there by better players, better quality players, you can see those numbers already, they are increasing. 7 games, 5 starts already, 3 goals and 2 assists for Raphinha. And we all know about the quality Brazil have. We all know about the players that they have, the talent at their disposal. But many, many Brazilian fans, they're so excited about Raphinha. They are really, really intrigued and excited to see what he can go on to do. And they know their football. They know a talent when they see one, Brazilian fans. And Raphinha, I should mention as well, very, very good from set-piece situations, especially there in terms of free kicks. Very good free kick taker, good as well from the penalty spot. And that at Barcelona right now, those are things that we need. Those are areas that certainly we can improve. And Raphinha will bring a lot to those areas. But do you want to know the most exciting thing? Do you want to talk here about, for me, what's the most exciting part of Raphinha as a player, as this signing coming in? You know what? It's that he's not at his peak. This right now is a 25-year-old player who I think has been improving season upon season. They're growing in his game, maturing as a player, learning more and more under the different coaches that he's had. And now, this is that step up. This is the moment that he's been waiting for his entire career, dreaming of this moment. And I do feel as though he can still take his game on. He can still step up to another level entirely. We are getting here a hugely talented player. So much potential, but there's still that room to grow. And we should have Raphinha here at Barça for the best years of his career. He's coming now into his peak over the next few years. And I cannot wait to see that play out. Because this is a moment, like I say, that all of his life, growing up, watching Ronaldinho, being inspired by him, he's following now in his footsteps. This is your moment, Raphinha. This is your time. And he's got all the quality, all of the talent needed to be another special Brazilian at this club. And indeed, guys, that right there is sort of an introduction. Those are the very early words about Raphinha in a Barcelona shirt and all of the excitement and optimism that surrounds his signing. But of course, there's lots more to talk about too. There's a lot more that we're going to be going into here about the way that he's going to set up, that Xavi is going to integrate Raphinha into his lineup, you know, how he could combine with the other attacking players that we have and what we could look at heading into next season, the options that we have. It's mouthwatering. It is absolutely incredible, and it really, really does fill me with real excitement. Looking ahead now, please do let me know all of your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you make of Raphinha as a player? What are your expectations for him, and how do you see him fitting in to Xavi Hernandez's team? I hope you enjoyed the video today. Thank you indeed for tuning in and for getting involved. As always, guys, there will be lots more coming up. There will be plenty more to say. You can bank on that. But until next time, as always, Visca el Barça.